This is Kev, and this is BMBBH News. News without the WS. I at least did not believe I would ever hear something like, especially after Watch Me Whippin' Nene, that it would be Silento, the artist who shot and killed someone. And, I'm like many people out there, I didn't care for the song, but the impact the song made in its popularity. And I mean, with this incident, it could be that a lot of childhoods were destroyed by this one. Or it could be possible that too many people have already moved on from Whippin' Nene. In any instance, this is unfortunate. Rickey Hawk, destined to be a one-hit wonder, like the Shop Boys and Party Like a Rock Star, is known as something else now. A convicted killer. Hawk, also known as performer Silento, with his mega successful viral dance song, Watch Me Whippin' Nene, has been sentenced to 30 years in prison for the shooting death of his cousin after pleading guilty to manslaughter, citing mental health issues, stemming from an incident which happened to him at the age of 12. And, that's sometimes for many young black people, that is an elephant in the room, and no one really wants to deal with it, which leads to such things as this, some unfortunate incidences. We really should take care of our people, our young children, our girls and our boys, but, even for me, despite all of that, the family of the victim, Silento's own cousin, 34-year-old Frederick Rooks III, told the courts that they don't believe that sentence is long enough. And I don't blame them one bit. It's like when it gets to the point where it's murder, the family and most of the sensible parts of society won't care about that shit, as in mental health issues. I don't care. He should be locked away and away from people. He shot his cousin in the head. No matter what argument you get into with your family member, if it's just on some words hurt shit, it's not worth a bullet to the head, and don't give me that. I mean, shoot, people around people all the time, they have a mental health issue and they just don't snap off and kill someone. And I mean, but also this, too many young lives, young black lives, and I don't mean to get preachy, but too many of the lives of young black men have been extinguished far too soon due to circumstances as bad as prison and death. And it's both in this case. And much of that is our lackluster approach to mental health in the black community. And I'm not just talking about someone admitting that they need help, with someone, being a bitch, exacerbating the person's issues on the other side of that, which is something that is not addressed either. Yes, let's get help if we need it and shut down the ones who keep provoking it, in their loved ones. And you know what? I'm not saying that's what happened, but how do you think the general black community who, worries more about being cool, how do you think they feel about the Whippin' Nene kid? I mean, I'm talking about before he killed someone. I mean, I understand all of the roasting now. I mean, he killed somebody. Now you got the Whippin' Nene guy who has mental health issues stemming from when he was 12, and it's pretty obvious those issues were never addressed because of what happened that fateful day in January of 2021. Frederick Rooks III paid the price, and of course he didn't deserve it. His life meant more than this to end so badly, and at the hands of a person who had a huge chance to be a success. Silento's Watch Me Whippin' Nene Vivo video has 1.9 billion views, and I'm sure that means a lot to Chuck E. Cheese's and bouncy places everywhere. This song transcended race and demographic, I mean, he didn't even need the cool people anyway. And I mean, my kid was a baby when it came out, and, she she likes the song, case in point. Yeah, and as popular as the song was, with the dawn of the internet, the song was also roasted savagely, the butt of a lot of internet jokes. And I mean, like, that stems from a society that walks and talks and breathes. So, I mean, it's a very simple song, and it became an overnight hit. But, you know, it was shoehorned into the kids category. It's a kid song, and that's okay. If your kid enjoys it and it keeps your kid happy and not doing other things like getting into trouble, I'm all for it. I'm all for Silento's positive impact, but obviously it didn't, you know, have a positive impact on him. You know, you can call it the gift and the curse. Silento was a victim of sorts himself, with the success of Whippin' Nae. A song really that should have made him a millionaire. And, you know, it's, look, with all of the airplay besides the Vivo video, I mean, somebody made some money somewhere. That's all I'm saying. Silento only came away with 100K, and we know that's a low ball. Like, it was him and his family that jumped the gun inside something, but he didn't get everything he deserved from that. But, you know, bad deal or no, somebody did get paid. But he did manage to sign a deal with Capitol Records, you know, after Whippin' Nae, but there would never be another. You know, Whippin' Nae was that 1 in a million chance, and you know, he is like being an actor being typecast into the same role. You know, he's the Whippin' Nae guy forever, dude. And Hawk is no spring chicken. He has, you know, after his release, fresh out of high school too, because I'm sure everybody watching, they didn't know anything else this young man put out, and you know, I just had to check for the sake of this recording. You know, I guess the frustration built up, and you know, all his mental health issues caught up with him, and shoot, he's gotten in trouble. Like, August of 2020, he got a domestic violence charge, and the next day he got an assault with a deadly weapon charge when he entered the house of someone he didn't know and asked where his girlfriend was, and he started swinging a hatchet at the couple that was at the house. Then some speeding violations, which he was caught doing 143 miles per hour on Interstate 85 in Atlanta, Georgia. But, you know, it doesn't compare to shooting a family member in the head. So that popularity, it was never coming back before his troubles. It was never ever coming back anyway. He's the Whippin' Nae guy forever and ever. And now he's a prisoner. And it's too late for him now. It's over. And you know, the family's saying that it's not long enough because, you know, granted that he gets the help he needs and he's evaluated to being just fine, he could be eligible for parole in 10 years. So whatever happened to him, the court of law did take it seriously. And I understand how the family feels. You know, if I were a Frederick Rooks close family member, I wouldn't like it at all. Mental illness or not, he's a murderer. And here's the funny part. He tried to release an album in prison called Bars Behind Bars. So we can feel bad for his mental health issues all we want, but that was pretty blatant. And he told you every problem he had. Yeah, I had to listen to it to see if he actually said anything. The snippets on Spotify, okay, for clarity. And yeah, he told you everything he went to, the pressures of success. He got all these women all over him, blah, blah, blah. It was almost as if he was bragging. So yes, he deserves what he's getting. He deserves more, actually. They need to put him in for life. How blatant was that? I agree. If the help is needed, get it. But before something like this happens, because no one will give a shit afterwards, and they shouldn't. And, you know, due to stupidity, live surveillance, and tracking software, Silento was caught easily. He should never be allowed to be anywhere near people again. But let's be more serious about men's mental health as well, for ourselves and others, you know, especially upon hearing something like this. My condolences to the family of Frederick Rooks III. And if Silento, the Whippin' Nae guy, ever gets out of prison, it'll be too soon. Okay, till the next time.